Imagine being pepper-sprayed while wearing your full military uniform in a new Chevy Tahoe. His uniform, crisp and symbolic of his dedication, represented his service. The day had been long, and he looked forward to a peaceful evening. But destiny had different plans. As darkness fell, sudden flashing lights lit up his rearview mirror, disrupting the calm. Nazario's heart started pounding, but he maintained his composure. He'd been trained to respect authority, and he followed as expected. He pulled over, prepared to cooperate. Yet as the officers approached, their expressions showed unexpected hostility. Nazario quickly realized this was no ordinary stop. With unsteady hands, he lifted them high, a sign of surrender and compliance. As he spoke, he couldn't have foreseen that his words would spark a nationwide outcry. The officers drew closer, faces filled with unprovoked anger, and Nazario knew he was caught in a nightmare where even his uniform couldn't shield him. What unseen forces could turn those sworn to protect into such a threat? The flashing lights cast an eerie glow as Lieutenant Nazario's pulse raced. Though he had complied by pulling over, something felt deeply wrong. The aggression in their tone sent shivers down his spine as they barked contradictory orders. "Get out of the car now," one officer yelled. "Keep your hands visible," the other demanded simultaneously. With his mind racing, Nazario tried to process what was happening. He had been trained to stay calm in tense situations, but this was beyond anything he'd ever faced. With his shaking hands still raised, he tried to clarify. "I serve this country actively. Is this how you treat me?" Nazario's voice wavered with disbelief and fear. The officers, seemingly indifferent to his uniform or words, continued with their aggressive approach. His training clashed with his survival instinct. He knew he needed to comply, but the conflicting commands left him frozen with uncertainty. As tensions escalated, Nazario made a split-second choice. He reached for his phone, determined to record the encounter. Little did he know, this act would be critical in exposing the injustice he was about to endure. In that moment, Nazario's reality shifted. The very people he had sworn to protect and serve were now the ones threatening him. The irony struck hard. Here he was, a soldier in uniform, being treated as a criminal on American soil. The situation spiraled out of control faster than Nazario could comprehend. Before he could fully grasp what was happening, his face was engulfed in a burning sensation. The officers had pepper-sprayed him, the intense pain causing him to gasp and fight for breath. Through burning eyes and a haze of disbelief, Nazario struggled to keep calm. Blinking rapidly, tears poured down his face as he tried to focus on the officer's next commands. The excruciating pain in his eyes was intense, but it couldn't compare to the heartbreak he felt. As he was forcibly pulled from his vehicle and handcuffed, Nazario's mind spun. How could this be happening? He had followed every rule, served his country, yet here he was, being treated like a dangerous criminal. The following moments were a blur of pain and confusion. Nazario found himself on the curb, wrists bound, waiting for paramedics to treat his stinging eyes. The officers questioned him, their inquiries tinged with accusation and thinly veiled contempt. Throughout it all, Nazario struggled to reconcile his training with the harsh reality he was facing. He had been taught to follow authority, to obey commands without question. But how could he reconcile that with the obvious injustice he was experiencing?